Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to our transnational roundtable Women Leaders. I'm happy to welcome you here with all three amazing female manager speakers. Here I introduce all of them so that you know what you can look forward to. So welcome Renata Rasva, Chief People Officer at Home Credit International. Hello.
Hello,
yes.
Everyone. Hi, nice to be with you.
Hello. And then let me welcome Natalie Crushnik, CEO at Insight Slovenia. Hello, Natalie.
Hi, everyone. Nice to be here with you all.
And our third amazing speaker is Beatrice Rubio del Campo. She's from Il Union Hotels and she's an accessibility manager. Beatrice, we probably don't have your audio. So yes, I can't hear you right now, but never mind. I think we can fix that till Beatrice is having to share her story and in the section that is focused on her career details. So okay, so these are our amazing speakers. I'm glad that you chose women leaders. Let's start with a couple of information about who is the organizer. I'm Teresa Goldska. I'm the CEO of the Business Leaders Forum. We are seated in Prague in the Czech Republic, and we are an CSR association that promotes the best practices of sustainable and accountable behavior of businesses. So our members are large corporates, but also small and middle-sized businesses who take the responsibility and sustainability seriously. And within our pillars, people pillar is one of the pillars of strategy that I really think is important. Being in HR, the human resources, for over 13 years, I know that people are the treasure of the business. And we are not talking just about the employees, we are also talking about the communities that the company influences by its business. So people pillar is very important to Business Leaders Forum. And this is why we have some projects and programs to support the initiatives connected or focused on people. So let me share the presentation of our transnational roundtable. I hope everyone can see it now. So welcome once again. We are going to start with our country, Czechia. Then we are going to look at the situation from the point of female leaders and equality in Slovenia. And then we are going to check what it's like, the background, what is the background like in Spain. As I was saying, the People Pillar for Business Leaders Forum is very important. And one of the projects I would like to mention is our Senior Management Lean-In Club. It's a development program for a closed group, 5 to 8 ladies in senior management, which allow them to develop, to create partnerships through businesses, to network, and to share their experience. We use videos and materials from Stanford University, and the ladies meet once a month. And so far, for the many years that we are engaged in this project, we have over 200 women in a Lean In alumni network. And these women are currently welcome to see our transnational roundtable. They got the invitation, and I know that Martina is here. Also, one of our speakers, Renata Rasva, was a guest to our Lean In activities, because we invite guests to share their story and their experience from the caring point of view. And this is exactly why we had the idea to organize Women Leaders Roundtable, because we wanted to share stories of successful women, to see whether there's something that they recommend, whether there's something that creates obstacles, not depending on the market, but within the whole European Union. So here it is. This is why we wanted to organize Women Leaders as it is. To provide you some statistics, in the European Union, only 1 in 3 managers in senior roles is women. These data are Eurostat data from the news released in March 2019. And as you can see, 36% of managers are women. And when we go to the level of the board, it's even less, it's 27%. And if we go to the level of senior executives, so like CEOs and the executives with power, it's only 17%. So these are the data from the European Union from 2019. And this is something very important to know, because the equality is one of the SDGs. And with our program Lean In, and with any initiative that will be mentioned by our ladies, our guest speakers, we try to increase this number, increase this percentage, so that women have equal opportunities in their careers. And the idea of Lean In, as mentioned by Sheryl Sandberg, the former operations director of Facebook, is that she wants every female to be really saying yes, even to those opportunities that are challenging and that are in the senior executive roles. So I will provide some more data when I will be introducing each of our speakers. Let me show you once again who you want to look for. And we'll start with Renata Rasva, who is the Chief People Officer at Home Credit International. But Renata has also a large experience from executive roles. She was also acting as the CEO. She has experience from leading corporates, leading companies, and she claims that people are the most precious thing that company has. This is what I read in one of your answers in some article, Renata. So here in the Czech Republic, data, maybe stop sharing the presentation. The data from the Czech Republic are even lower than in the whole European Union. Unfortunately, we currently, or in 2019, had only 18.2% of executives at the top level as women. So if we look at this, we are currently less than average within the European Union. Definitely, we are not the country with best practices, but never mind, we still have best practices like Renata, who I want to engage now in our session and ask her how she feels about the background here in the Czech Republic with the development recently.
So thank you, Teresa. Hi, everyone. It's fantastic to join this session. I don't know, Terko, do you want me to go deeper in my introduction, or do you want me now to elaborate about the situation in Czech Republic?
Let's see the situation, because I know that you are going to focus on your career story as well. So let's start with the please.
I was losing you now a little bit, so sorry, I could not understand what you said.
If we could start with the background that you see in the Czech Republic.
Okay, the connection is quite bad on my side probably, so I could not hear you. But let me to share a little bit about myself, my experience, and I will also connect it with the situation in Czech Republic. So I have joined the business around the year 1995 and around 2000. Actually, most of my career I spent in finance area. I worked in many companies in finance function, and also a CFO in a few companies. What I want to mention is that I have two daughters, which is also interesting for the sharing of the experience, because the first daughter was born in 2003. I was the CFO of a financial institution, global financial institution, ING, Dutch company, which is very much, into the infrastructure and also mindset supporting, women right and equality. And I was the one of the first female leaders in Czech Republic who, in the year 2003, returned from the maternity leave for the full-time job after 3 months. So it's 17 years ago, and I can tell you that at the time it was quite a challenge because this was totally not common. And the biggest challenge for me was that actually, I was very, very much judged by many people in the company, but also in the family. If I compare the situation now, 17 years, afterwards, the situation is, very much different. But I think that still, from the legislative point of view, society point of view, there are many barriers for the women, who would like to combine both professional career and being a mother. I have continued my journey after, facing all these experiences. I step up to CEO job, and then very much focus on the people culture, but also building, diverse and inclusive environments, and really being impactful in Czech Republic to change the environment, on focusing on bringing these topics, to public discussion. So overall, to conclude, I think the situation has changed tremendously. I think that there are already, many women who are combining the career with maternity and having kids, but still there are a lot of barriers on the society, which is of course included in the companies, because most of the companies, they are led by the male leaders, and I think they did not see in the past enough cases that this is possible to combine, and that it is great advantage for the companies to build a diverse workforce, because in a very diverse and inclusive environment, and companies flourish, and they have much better results. It's proven by all the researches, financially, but also from the customer satisfaction and engagement point of view. So I'm extremely
Renata, sorry to step sorry to step in. Can you hear me? We have a bit of problem with the voice of your microphone. Is it possible there's something, some kind of noise that's interrupting us? Because a lot of people from the audience say that you sound a bit mechanical.
Yeah, I will try to come a little bit closer, but as
Okay.
I can also hear you very badly. So I don't know. It's probably on my mobile that there are some issues. So can you hear me better now? Is it better or is it the same?
I think it's a bit better. Maybe if you get more closer to your microphone, it will be better.
Okay, so maybe what I would propose, let's maybe go to different speaker. I will try to do something on my mobile. Let's see if it will work for the better. Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. Okay, thank you, Renata. We will definitely go back to the story of Renata Rasva. So here I would like to welcome once again Natalie Zwikel-Postružník. Natalie, are you there?
Yes, hi everyone, I'm here.
I'm so glad that you have clear connection and we can see you and hear you. So let's step in with your career story and Slovenia, and we will see if we will be able to get back to Renata, because the connection and the noise in the background was very, very bad and we couldn't hear her. So to provide some data for Slovenia, we are using the same report again. So just to see the development, in 2009, there were 10% of the women within the roles of top managerial level. Then we could see the progress, because in 2018, it increased twice or more than twice to 27.9%. And then in 2019, it dropped a little bit to the 24.6%. So how do you see, how do you evaluate the current situation? What is the background in your country concerning women leaders?
Teresa, thank you for the introduction of Slovenian, let's say, background on gender equality. But we surely have to look at this in a bigger picture always. We were part of former Yugoslavia, and it was actually quite normal for women to be on managerial level, to work 8 hours per day. So it was not uncommon. It was actually expected of women to be part of working, let's say, working people. Okay. So after getting out of former Yugoslavia and be a self-sustainable country, let's say, in Slovenia. So this mentality actually went along, and it was quite common and quite usual for women to work. And it still is, of course. We get this shift of a mindset that women are entitled actually to have the highest positions, because this was not, although women were part of working. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm just reading the chats in between. Perhaps for a second my mind and my focus went to the left chat room. It was quite normal for women to work there, but it was not usual and it was not common to have the highest positions. So if we see at the numbers and go from 10% to 24%, which is actually, I think, in this year even lower due to the crisis, because in every crisis the ratio, the part of the women having these top positions drops. This is quite interesting, and it has something to do with women and families and men and holding the positions and not giving them up. So yes, on one side we have a strong, very successful women, many more role models that we can follow, and on the other side we still have And we still have this kindergarten mentality, let's say, where women have to play with dolls and men have to play, boys have to play with cars, okay? So yes, the numbers show one picture, but the whole picture, the power of these positions, I still think leans toward men. So there is a lot of things to be done. And we have to be a bit louder. It doesn't matter that we have COVID-19 situation now. It doesn't matter that the whole economy is struggling and it has problems. We have to be well aware that during crisis and during this situation, we have to even speak up louder, because you know all of these researches that show that women take less risk. That we tend to involve many more shareholders, stakeholders, right? So we don't focus only on financial outcomes. We look on the other areas and aspects of life of our stakeholders. So if we tend to be a bit less taking risk, it only means that we give thoughts to other living beings. So this is my short introduction into Slovenian landscape of gender equality. But yes, of course, we have a lot of great examples. Renata was talking about having issues with good examples, but we have them a lot in Slovenia. It's just that it seems to me like we were like on catch-22. I hope you are, I'm pretty sure you are familiar with that phrase. It was a movie made after a very, very popular book, and if you haven't read it yet, please do so. It is this catch-22 in gender equality is whatever you do as a woman, there is always something you are not doing right. So we have to support each other. And Teresa, I really liked your introduction on your project Lean In, because this is something, but we will get into this later on, I guess, right? In these concrete situations that we really do very well in Slovenia. And I'm looking forward to explain a bit more a bit later.
Thank you, Natalie, for describing the background in your country. We are glad to hear that the development is going well, and we can see the numbers have more than doubled. So it's glad to see it. It's great to see it. So if we go directly to you and to your career path and to your career story. I know that you are right in the role of CEO of Insights, but you are also a professional coach, and you have a lot of experience with development of people and managers, probably female managers. So if we go to your career path, what has helped you to reach to the role of female leader, and what challenges you encountered on the way?
Yes, thank you. I'm very, people would say stubborn, I would say persistent. So I don't give up easily and I don't give in at all. So if there is an obstacle, you have to find the bigger chair to cross it, to step over. I was studying in Slovenia and then in Austria and in Germany as well. But after getting back from Germany with my unfinished master thesis, I applied for a job at the municipality of Maribor. This is the second largest city in Slovenia, and this is still my hometown, and this is where I live again. After moving around quite a bit, but now I'm in Maribor. I really love this city, and when I PR for our city, okay, I apologize, but I'm really passionate about it. And I applied because I was looking for a boss that would support my aspirations. And my boss was the mayor of the city, and I had 0 official days, working days, and I should have 10 years of working experiences. But I still applied and I got a job without connections, and I still don't know why. probably because I went there and I just presented myself and I was who I was. So my first lesson I got or I took was be who you are. Do not pretend to be someone else. Do not be someone who you think people want you to be, because they see through you, right? This was my first and very important lesson, and it got me across many, many obstacles later on in my life. I have three kids, 3 daughters. I know Renata said she had 2, and it was quite challenging for her after getting back to work after the first maternity. Me too, I finished my first maternity after 3 months, which is quite unusual for Slovenia, because in Slovenia we have 12 months, we have 1 year the maternity leave, and this is really, really something great, and it really gives a woman a possibility to combine work and career path. But what was important for me is that I always had someone who looked after me. If I would be to speak in terms of gender equality material, I would say I always had a career sponsor, okay? So I always had someone who saw something in me, so some potential, something that could be developed higher or further, and said he or she. It was really interesting. Not only women supported me, sometimes even men were more supportive than women, which is also a catch-22, but okay. So I always had someone who held my back. And this is lesson number 2. If you want to make a successful career, please, please build your network. Networking is really, really important. And that's why this Leaning project that Teresa mentioned is really something you all have to build upon. If you are not part of a network, it doesn't matter, female, male, managerial, whatever, you have to become one. You have to love people, you have to love hanging out with them, even virtually, it doesn't matter, because people feel the energy. And when they feel your energy, they support you. And this is something I think, and I strongly believe, people always, people on higher levels, the higher managerial levels, saw in me. So from being a PR person, so responsible for PR in the municipality, after 9 months, I was promoted to chief of mayor's cabinet, mayor's office. And after another year, I was promoted. I was employed by the Ministry of Transport and Telecommunications in Republic of Slovenia in Ljubljana as a head of a minister's office. So this was like the second highest position in the ministry, and this was during the times from 1997 and 1996 and 4 years, during times when we as a country were becoming part of European Union. So it was very demanding, very challenging, a lot of traveling, a lot of everything, and there was this 2-year-old daughter of ours with my husband Goras. So it is important to love what you do. It is important to really believe in what you're doing, and it is important to have network and have people who support you. After 4 years of this ministerial experiences, I decided to go back to Maribor again to work for the second largest insurance company in Slovenia, financial district again. So I think it is interesting that financial companies actually understand they need women. Yes, they understand that women are asset in financial terms, if I speak in financial terms. And for me, it was enlightening how many people didn't have any problems with me being on these positions, because it was, you know, they haven't judged me by being a woman or a man, but judged me by my performance. So if you perform, if you know what you're doing, if you are passionate about your job, and if you really care about others, then I think these are like 3 pillars of a career path, of career life, let's say, of course, with the backing of your backing of your back. So this was like insurance company, but after 13 years, I felt a bit of push to do something more about people. I was getting into I'm almost 50 now, and I was 42 back then. And I really felt a strong push to be or to get more involved with people, with their development, with their support, with their competencies. And so I became the CEO of Insights. This is the company which explores the competencies of people and the company's, so optimization and people development, both parts, because they go hand in hand. And something we did on this part was a project with the Managerial Association of Republic of Slovenia. This is Managers Association of Slovenia, it's called, and we did this manual called Model 6, Include All, and I brought one issue just to show it to you. It's thin, but it's a great content, and hopefully we will be able to translate it into English, because we want to have it available broadly so that everyone can apply these 6 measures. And I'm not quite sure, Teresa, are we now already talking about these concrete measures that can be applied within organizations? Or should I be focusing a bit more on my career, or let's say?
Natalie, it's up to you how you use your time, but we have one questioner from the audience. So if you don't mind, I would read a question to you.
I see it. It would be great to hear about the most effective initiatives to promote female leaders in the organization. So thank you, Maria. This is Model 6, and it has 6 measures. This is 6 initiatives, let's say, and I would just scroll down through these 6 initiatives. The first one is when we as HR, or when we in company, organization, when we look for a new, for newcomer, when we are looking for someone on a managerial level, it's top or middle or whatever, we always have to look for at least 1 woman out of 3 candidates. So this is one of the measures, which is it is simple. It is simple when you hear it like that, but when you do it in a structured way, you see that sometimes it's really hard not to slip and not to forget about women, because you get great male candidates, let's say, in certain areas like engineering, etc., where it's really hard to find a female. But if you are focused on that, and if you have written it somewhere in the company's profile or politics or strategy or wherever, it just has to be written down and it has to be approved by the board, then you have a really good chance that if you have 1 out of 3 candidates female, that you will probably hire a woman. Why? Because they are usually, now I'm a bit, okay, let's say usually, but not always, a bit more engaged. They have better sense of communicating with other people, so more empathy, more social and social skills. So usually when you have 3 equal candidates regarding your professional background or your experiences, then this soft skills are better with women. So 1 out of 3, this is the first measurement or first initiative. But it has to go in hand with other 5. So the next one would be, you have to have special programs for women. Meaning what? Meaning that women need need other skills than men. Yeah, we are different, and that's great. But in a corporate world, people need set of skills. And women usually, one story, women like to work. Women sit in their offices and work until the work is done. Yeah, we forget about networking, and we have to talk about what we have achieved. And we forget about showing the world what we have achieved. So this is really a small skill, but it's very important, because you can get overseen very, very fast if others don't know what you have already done or what you have achieved, what you are good at. So you have to communicate about that. And this is one set of skills that women need to get learned and comfortable with. Because if we, this is why I was talking about kindergarten mentality before, at the beginning of our session, when I said that women are expected in kindergarten to play with dolls. So women are expected to do the job and not talk about it so much, right? The women are expected to be modest, to be humble, not to speak loud, not to speak out, etc., etc. So for women, it is important to learn how to do it without the sense of guilt, without the sense of feeling not well, let's say. Okay, I don't want to use other adjectives, so let's stick with this. So set of programs, set of skills that women need to learn, and then when we have this, we have to make a clear career path, career plans for women, so that women can see that they can get promoted from phase 1 to phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and they know exactly which set of skills they need along the way and how they will achieve it. So these programs are a bit discriminatory, really, because they focus on women. But that's okay, because the world outside was set for men for 200 or 300 years. So it's okay to focus a bit on women in the last 20 or 30 years or so. So this is the second, education, internal education, external education, career path, career plans, etc. This is the second initiative or measurement, and it has to be done well, and so not to rush into anything. Take time for this.
Thank you. May I just step in, because we are running out of time a bit. So I know that you have still some points. We will definitely like to know them. So if you could briefly just tell us what else is very important for the organization to look at or to have, so that it supports women in their career path.
Okay, so the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are career mentorship, like lean-in program. Then we have a career sponsorship. This is something else, and it means that you get, you have, okay, I can talk about that a bit later if it's necessary. Then we have this performance management, where we set the key performance indicator according to female, let's say female power. And then the last one, perhaps it should be the first one, is to set the share of women in management in each organization. So it has to be at least 30%, at least 1/3, to have the balance. But if you want to have equality, we have to have it 1/5, because approximately 46% of women are working in European Union. Okay, so this is for now, and I can get back to it later on.
Thank you, thank you. It is. I know that it's your job, so you could talk about this for 2 hours, and I know it's also your passion. Everyone can see it on you. So thank you for sharing this and answering Maria's question. I have one last question on you. If you should name one recommendation for women, I know that you did mention a lot while you were speaking, but if you should just express one recommendation for women who want to lean in and say yes to a career challenge, what would it be?
So the most important thing for me is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You can do it. You really can do it. That's it. Whenever there is an obstacle, just remind yourself, I can do it. I will find a way to solve the problem. I will find a way to get to the bottom of it. I will find a way to get support. I believe in me.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a nice wrap up of your whole speech. So thank you, Natalie. In case you want to ask Natalie some more questions, please use the chat. We will definitely, we check the chat regularly, and we will definitely come back to Natalie if there's a question for her. So thank you, Natalie. And I see that we have technical issues with reconnecting Renata. So I would like to introduce Beatrice Rubio del Campo, if we can hear you and see you. So let's see if we can
Yeah,
hear.
Is my micro on now?
Yes, we can hear you. We would like to see you as well.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
So let me introduce Beatrice Rubio del Campo. She's really experienced in the hotel and tourism sector, I would say, because she's held many positions within the hotel management. Currently, she's accessibility manager. She will definitely describe her current role better than I would do, so I will leave it on her. But what I want to say is that Beatrice has also a nice career story. So I would like you to share it. But some statistics at first from your country. Beatrice is based in Spain, and in 2009, only 9.6% of the leaders at the executive level were women. The situation got much better if we compare it to the year of 2018. The number is 23.7%, so it really increased. And in 2019, it's even more, it's 26.4%. So Beatrice, how do you feel about this development? Can you see it around? Do you see that women are more engaged within the managerial roles? Do you see there are some initiatives that support women in reaching these female leaders' roles?
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Teresa, for having a Lunian group and also for having myself. And it's been inspiring listen to my colleagues. And I think I was, getting ready this chat with you, and I thought that always when something is increasing, when something is developing better, it's also because there's something important, and the government must be in the background, because in 2007 we have a law, a special one, and I suppose it was also in some other countries of the European community, and that it says that at least the 30% of the main chief officers should be women. That was, the minimum. So I think this is the reason why this is increasing. But if we look deeper, we have our IBEX 35, which are the listed companies, and we still see, that only 455 are main directors, and again the 108 women directors. So it seems like even though we are, climbing the same position and we are in the middle manager position, it is still hard to find, a woman on top and being a CEO woman. I mean, so we are climbing some medium position, but not always at the top one. Okay, and this is important to remark that, because now people are speaking about this crystal ceiling, which is becoming to be a diamond one. So it seems like you reach to a top, but then from here to that you have to be, the owner of the company, because otherwise it seems like it's quite hard, And even though in Spain there's a lot of initiatives that we can find to promote a businesswoman, and there's some of them that have been existing for more than 15 years, and they are helping mainly the entrepreneurs women or women that create their own companies, and they support them with information, advice, guidance, and development. And this is very important because for every 4 or 5 entrepreneurs, at least 4 of them are women. So at the end, we find our own path, and maybe if it's not in an ordinary company, we can create ourselves. It's like invent our stories. And also with the European consortium, there's another initiative. You know that Spain is a country, is agriculture country, and it's important for us, you know, to develop in those areas where the country is rich, so we can make the most of our weather, you know, and also all the things, you know, to for example, there's an initiative that it's focused on helping women that want to work in the agri-food sector, which is something that it's getting, you know, with all the technology like far away. And there's some initiative to link women with part of the sectors that can be developed.
Thank you, Beatrice. So this is how you perceive the background in your country. So some point of view is the statistics, and another point of view is how a woman or a woman on the market in a role of female leader perceives the situation. So thank you for this. Is there any initiative or project that you joined or that you have experience with personally?
Yeah, well, I mean, my company, I think it's a different one, because we break stereotypes and give equal opportunities regardless gender, disability, age, status, etc. So what we understand is that the leadership has to be with people that manage people. It doesn't have to be with if you are a man or a woman. So we try to open these special programs to everyone. I mean, there's nothing specific on a path of a woman, but on a path of everyone. And we have several programs, and we have programs in transformation management and personal transformation and leadership, also lead to transformation, that help people to understand that through their development, the company also grows up. And apart from these programs and thinking about this way of sharing how to support a women path and women career, I would like to highlight that our group supports also the employment of women with disability in risk of social exclusion and victims of gender violence. And I say that because not all the women in the world we are gonna be, you know, medium manager or have the possibility to develop our careers. But what we will have for sure is a possibility to develop ourselves as a women. So this is very important, because not all the women are going to be, you know, are going to be into the labor market as an executive. But women also need some tools to develop ourselves in our lives, and supporting these women that have some problems and then they come with from a difficult situation is very important, because this is a way which is essential for a society to grow up, not only when you are into a labor market, but also that you are in the society. And we work also for these people to have these opportunities to follow and to be into the society through the labor market, but also to develop in their own lives.
Thank you, thank you. I know that Illumina hotel chain is very focused on supporting the people, not just women, but all people with disabilities. So thank you for such mention that not every woman has to be a leader, but we would like to engage every woman to be able to work and learn and develop. Thank you. So if we focus on your career story personally, so what was your path? What were the challenges and what were the things that actually helped you, or who were the people that actually helped you in your career path?
Okay, so the beginning of the story, I mean, I think it's the most important one because I grew up as an ordinary girl, even though I have an important visual impairment. And at home, I was treated like the rest of my brothers and sisters, and that gave me the opportunity to develop myself. And I tell this because some people in the audience maybe could have any son or any daughter with a disability or with a different capacity, and it's important to look at them as in the person they can develop, not from the point of view of what they don't have, but what they have. And this is the most important thing I think of my path story, which is my life story. I studied tourism because I really like people and languages, and being so young, I went abroad as an au pair by myself. That was my first experience outside. I think I remember my father being terrified about this idea, but I was, so never giving up and follow always my dreams and what I wanted to do. And when I finished my studies of tourism, I really had to face with my first and biggest challenger, that was my self-confidence. Are you able or not able to do that? So I applied for a job in my company, even without knowing that they were employing two people with disabilities. So I think I was like a match destiny, isn't it? And so, well, at the beginning, I remember this first day, with my colleagues, they trying to do all the things for me to get things easy for me, doing all the tasks as the reception, because I started, at the reception desk, and they wanted to do everything for me, and they thought that would be the way of making me feel better and safer. I do it for you, Beatrice, don't worry. And then once I was thinking, and I thought, okay, I have to look directly to this moment of truth. I need to know if I'm able to develop an autonomous job, and what are my possibilities. And then I started working so hard to learn, and it's something curious, because the more nervous and insecurity I felt, the more disability I felt in myself. But I thought, okay, you are here, you have your life's opportunity to develop yourself. So just take it, and there's nothing to lose. This is all for you to take it. And so I started working everything with hard work and initiative. It worked. And just a few months afterwards, I was selected for a career plan, and I had the opportunity to know so deep all and every single part of the hotel. And I was working in all the department. I was given this great opportunity that it was like a dream come true. And afterward, I became a deputy manager, and afterwards a manager, a hotel manager. And I thought, this is a dream of any student in the world, any tourism student. And I got it, and I enjoy it, And after some times, I become a mom. That was my second and big and wonderful challenger in my life. And then I felt, again, a little fragile, because I didn't feel that people were thinking I wasn't able because I was a woman, but because now, how are you going to manage both things? And I think in that moment, all the companies should support a woman, because a baby is a baby only one time, but afterwards, babies grow up, and you have more time and again more self-confidence. And I still could continue my path, because I really have my family support, my partner support. And then I got used to this baby. He was growing up. In here we only have 4-month maternity. That's a pity, but I mean, I make the most of that. And then I came back to work. And 2 years after, I was given the opportunity to run the accessibility department. And what I do is to get ready our hotel for people with disability. And this has been the second part of my career. It's been since then 12 years. And I think I have developed myself absolutely in this second part also, because I feel I'm mature, and this all the path that you go through and all the challenges and different things and difficulties, that they help you to be stronger and also to enjoy that. And for this work in accessibility, we have received a lot of awards and recognition. And I'm so proud and grateful to say that in my company, I have been able to offer all my best qualities, and that I have also developed myself personally and professionally.
Great. Thank you for sharing your career story, Beatrice. It's interesting how you can describe the exact moments when things change and which make you to access the another level, probably from the managerial point of view and also from the point of view of female careers. So thank you for sharing that. If you look back one more time, can you tell us, what do you think was the biggest challenge of your career?
Well, I think my biggest challenge in my career was exactly, to show what was everything that I could offer, because when you doubt about yourself, the rest of the people receive the same thing. And if you feel comfortable and if you feel, that you can do that, you are, like a mirror for the rest of the people. And I think it's, at the beginning, I think there was the most difficult thing, because once I took the first step, and I remember myself working, in a hotel and making the night turn and spending the double of time that the rest of my colleagues, because I wanted to do the same as they could do that. So, but then once I could prove that I could do that, everything was bigger and bigger, and I was, hunger for getting more and more and more, and learning more and enjoying more. So I think the beginning is the more, for me, that was the hardest thing. And sometimes I could see more difficulties in me than the rest of the people could see. I never felt that the challenger was in competition with a man, but in competition with myself, and also, of course, the part of the maternity that was especially hard, no? And I still hearing all the time stories of women that they cannot develop because they cannot have enough support from their families, and because the stereotype of that you have to choose between your family and your career, and this is not true. I mean, you can do both things. Of course, it's going to be more difficult, but it's not impossible.
Thank you. This last sentence reminded me a lot of the speech that Sheryl Sandberg gave to kick in the Lean In project. That was when she first used the terms Lean In as to say yes to career opportunities from the women point of view. So if there's another tip for the audience, if you haven't watched this TEDx talk of Sheryl Sandberg, I would encourage you to do so, because there you find also some more tips that she used and that she recommends for female leaders, what to do to really reach out to their career path dream. So thank you, Beatrice. One last question. If you should name one recommendation, there was a lot that you were talking about, and I can see that we could take a lot of recommendations from what you've told us so far. But if you should name one recommendation for women, for ambitious women that want to get to the female leader role.
Well, I would say, as my colleague, never give up. Don't tell anybody. Don't allow people to tell you what you can or cannot do. Choose yourself, but remember that if you give up for something, do it for yourself, because at the end of the path, you are the only judge for yourself. So there's no excuse. If you want to go for something, just follow that, and it's amazing, and universe put everything for you to take it. So follow your dream, and in case you have a daughter, especially a daughter, just look at her as a person, as the wonderful woman that she can develop in. Don't put them any barrier.
Thank you, Beatrice, for sharing your story. Once again, we hear things like never give up, and I think this is the bottom line of every engagement for women, and for managing it all, our family role, our business role, our personal role in life. So thank you very much. I have a bit of a piece of bad news that Renata is not able to reconnect to our session, which is a pity, because Renata is one of the most powerful leaders, female leaders here in Prague. She was mentioned among the most powerful women by Forbes a couple of years ago, and she still is a big idol for women here in the Czech Republic. So I'm so sorry that she couldn't share more of her career story, but we have a message from her. She greets everyone, and she's very sorry she's not able technically to connect again, and she has a message pretty much the same as Natalie and Beatrice: never to give up and follow your goal, whatever the goal is, so whichever managerial level you want to get to. And don't be afraid to ask for help, people around you. Don't do this typical mistake that you would prefer everyone around you and everything around you. And also find times when you can prefer yourself. So she mentioned that self-care is not selfish, it's important for female leaders. She's also able to share her contact if you want to ask her for something. So I will put her contact in the chat so that you can reach her and ask her something more about her career story. So now I don't see any other question within our chat. So if you are interested to ask anything, ask Natalie, ask Beatrice, anything concerning their career path, concerning the initiatives and projects that they have mentioned, or concerning their companies, please do so. We have a couple more minutes, so I was told that we could run a bit late with the session because we had technical issues. So if you have questions, please don't be afraid to put them in the chat. We will wait a minute before we wrap up, okay? Maybe in the meantime, because I hear that there's a different approach in Untitled chain towards the programs for women. Beatrice, you've mentioned that there's no special program open just to women. The programs are open to everyone. And Natalie, you mentioned that within your manual, there were special programs focused on female and development of their unique development of the skills that are their unique development needs. So the skills that female typically need to develop to grow personally and professionally. So this is something that is different. So let's I would like to see your opinion on the other case, if we could discuss that. So maybe Natalie, could you start?
Yes, thank you. Well, yes, we had quite different opinions on whether women or female, let's say, need special programs or not, because some women feel like abashed if we prepare special programs for them. But the reality showed that there are differences, and it is good to address them. And it also, what we have done with the biggest oil company and energy company in Slovenia, Petrol it's called, and with some smaller companies, middle-sized, like MIG, etc., etc. It was proven that having special programs for women actually gives benefits for women and men as well. Why? Because when we address women especially, we give them meaning, we give them a special benefit, we give them the support, we give them voice, and this is very important. We are equal, but we are not the same, and this is also very important to know. Yes, if just one plain simple, it's actually a stupid example, but if two women have different opinions, I don't want to use the word argue, okay? If two women have different opinions, sometimes it's very hard for them to find the common ground, yeah? And they go home and they elaborate on it with their husbands or friends or colleagues or whomever. But if men have different points of view, or they argue, we can say they argue, they go for a beer after work and they settle things, okay? So we have, this is really a stupid example, but it gives us a picture of how women approach solving conflicts quite differently than men, yeah? So it's okay to teach them different approaches, and it's okay to say, yes, you are different, and that is okay as well. So you don't have to be like men. Please don't be like men, because we don't need more men. We have enough of them, and we have enough of women. We can address this feminine side, this sensitive. We have these 28 days variations of ourselves throughout the month, and that is okay as well. So why not? And it's okay to have different programs for women, because we have different programs for men as well, and that's okay. And of course, we mix the programs, and we mix the participants with other educational or coaching or systemic approaches. That is also something quite common. But to address women and to give them space, to give them voice, is also quite well accepted, and it gives results.
Thank you, Natalie, for your answer. Beatrice, could I have a brief answer from you too?
Sure, Natalie, you're so inspiring. Well, I think that we have another point of view, but it is not because we understand that women are equal at men, but because our companies very focus on people with disability, and maybe this difference, we do it not from male or female, but from people with or without disability. This is what we made our richness, our mixtures. I don't know if it sounds to you, but I think this is why. So for us, the big gap, even the gap from men and women is big. For us, the big gap is the rights and the equal rights from people with or without disability. So for us, it's like a biggest idea. So this is why we don't focus on women or men, but because we are talking about different opportunities, so far opportunities, because at the end, the gap is bigger. I mean, when you have a disability, that puts you, it's not behind a man, it's so far from the world, which is maybe more difficult or more important, because that could put you outside of the society. So it's not like role play, but it's something more deep. And maybe this is why we don't have those programs. We have programs for anyone, but we have specific things for women. For example, we were the first company to have an equality plan and to ensure this equality between men and women. And recently we have a law that is, avoiding the wage gap, here in Spain. And in those equality plans, we also include a program to avoid workplace harassment. So we understand this difference from human being more than male and females, but I'm sure that these programs that are mentioned are very important, because for me, it's true that we have different skills, men and women, of course, but maybe, our point of view is different, is between something which is bigger. It's a bigger gap. I don't know if I have explained it properly.
Yes, Beatrice, thank you for your answer. I think it's definitely clear that your company and Union chain of hotels is specialized in engagement of people with disability. So this is another topic, a huge one, and probably then the perspective of how we look at the gender equality at Union hotels is different thanks to this. But I'm happy that you both agree there are a specific set of development needs and specific set of skills for women and men that need to be addressed and developed. So probably one of the recommendation coming out of your stories and coming out of your experience would be to focus on that as an organization or as someone who provides the development for men and women to support the increase of the percentage of female leaders. So thank you for your answers. We have some questions in the chat. So there's a question for Natalie. Could you please elaborate on specific KPIs on the performance assessment for women? Natalie, could you be just really brief on? We have just a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, I would give you just one example. So nowadays it is really important to have soft, or let's say social skills. And one of the KPIs that women really are great at is ability of assertive communication. Yes, assertive communication. So if you set a KPI, let's say it is expected for leaders or managers, or head of departments to be able to communicate assertive, you can measure that by different measurement tools like 360 or coaching sessions or researchers or analysis or whatever. So you set this KPI, and I'm pretty sure from my experiences that women are much better at this than men. So you have to be very careful that you don't set only hardcore KPIs while measuring the performance, but you have to set the, let's say, soft. Because when we look at the corporate social responsibility, when we look at the social responsibility, we see that there are a lot of KPIs that you can take a look at it and pick from them and insert them or implant them or plant them into the corporate or organizational world. So this is just one example, but it is a good one. It really works.
Thank you, Natalie. And we have 1 minute to address one last question. Martina is asking, she's saying that the sector she's working for is full of women. There is less than 50% of men leaders, I guess. My aim is to come into cooperation and communication on social issues that are maybe differently seen by men and women in the big companies. Oh, maybe the questions up there. What are your experiences with corporations on social issues of your companies, countries with social sector? So if you could just give us 10-second point of view on that, please. Let's start with Beatrice this time.
I think I didn't got it, the idea of the answer. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. So, Beatrice, I think you have answered. So, 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 I think you have answe
perhaps I can join in.
Thank you.
Yeah, perhaps in 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3. So in our country, to be honest, 10% of organization of corporate world understand the meaning of what is social, what are social issues, and how the companies can address them in hand with social organization. The rest is only greenwashing. Okay, so doing donations or performing something, doing some activities only to have a good image, but not going deeper and deeper into the topic. So this is a very quick and brief answer.
Thank you. Thank you. Beatrice, do you want to add something, or is it okay like that?
I think it is okay like that. Thank you. Yeah, but I mean, the thing is that we have to go deeper with things, but in reality, because there's a lot of things to do in the social and in all the areas, and it's important, you know, this transparency for the company and do more than some say that they do.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. So thank you for joining. Thanks to all our amazing female speakers and female leaders that were part of our Female Leaders Transnational Roundtable. To wrap up our session, I would like to mention some of what you said, because it seems that the recommendations or the statistics are in line with the recommendations that you provided. And all of our amazing women mentioned that women should not give up, whatever their goal is, whatever their dream is. So never give them up. Maybe it's hard in the beginning. Maybe it's hard when we start our families, but never give them up, and saying yes to the challenge is the key to the success if we want to become a female leader. And also the Natalie's 3 points, I'm going to read them once again because I really loved them. Your recommendations: be who you are, build your own network, and show your passion and show the results, and don't be afraid to speak of what you have achieved, of your results. So this is something that definitely was in your speech. You could find it in Beatrice's speech, and you could see it between the lines in the message that Renata Renata told me to say to the audience. So it's on us, women, how we are perceived, and how good we are at never giving up and asking for help when it's needed, and engaging in the programs and initiatives such as Lean In or any other program that are there to support us in our career pursuit. So thank you for being here with us. Thank you. And I hope that everything that was said helps you to see the importance of gender equality and the importance of our everyday actions. Because what I want to express, sorry, I wanted to share the last slide of the presentation. So what I want to express, maybe let's not share it, just say it, is that it's upon our daily actions and our daily decisions. Equal opportunities are there, and it's upon us what we can create with our everyday action and everyday decision. So thank you very much. Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Frederica, for your technical support, and enjoy the rest of the SDG Summit. Goodbye.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was great being with you and sharing all the thoughts and ideas. Let's do something. Let's do the change. Let's make the change, right?
Yes, let's make the change. Okay, bye.